But we've got a situation here where, you know, Tony Abbott has been knifed, kicked out. The numbers man over there was behind a lot of that. What do you say to him now?
To who? Is Alan to me or me to Alan?
This is Alan Jones to Senator McGrath.
Either way.
Well, let me preface that question, James, because there were a lot of bedwetters in the Liberal Party, and you seem to be the captain of the bedwetters. You were the person who got panicked by polls and so on, and turned this and repeated the Labor experiment within the Liberal Party on the basis that, to use the Kevin Rudd language, you were going to save the furniture. The reality is that in 2010, Abbott won 7 seats from Labor, and in 2013 he won 18. In 2 elections, he won 25 seats. Now, I'm in a former life a coach, and I go on a bit of form. I would have thought that on the basis of winning elections was pretty good form. And so now your Queanbeyan mob, Peter Pendy and co, whom you organised and coordinated and led when Tony Abbott was in Adelaide, have now got to confront this. The Liberal Party out there will be very, very distressed about what's happened. How do you react to that?
I think we're going to fall into a trap that thinking that Alan Jones is a friend of the Liberal National Party in Queensland. He actively campaigned for Labor to win the last state election. So, Alan, I actually don't care what you think, because you're not a friend of Conservatives, you're not a friend of the Liberal National Party, and I think you're the king of the bedwetters, actually.
Yeah, well, let me explain about the Queensland thing. I did not campaign for the Labor Party.
So.
I certainly...
You campaigned for the Labor Party. You actively campaigned against the re-election of the Campbell-Newman government. You went as far to call Deb Frecklington, the member for Denango, a prostitute.
You
are actually a grub.
Do you want to ask your question and answer it, or do you want to ask...
Well, no, not Alan Jones. That's what you do normally.
Do you want to ask the question and answer it? I simply, if you talk to people who are watching this broadcast now across the Darling Downs, where coal seam gas licences were issued illiberally and prime agricultural land was destroyed
by Labor.
And Campbell-Newman
by Labor.
Well, gentlemen, I tell you, I might have to jump in here because
I think so.